Hello, friends of Komodo platform, friends of crypto price charts, friends of technical analysis. I'm Giuliano. This is Friday, 8th of October. Well, no, you know what? UTC time looks like we have moved into we're near the end of the 8th of October. We're into nearly into 9th of October. So thank you for watching this video. Again, I'm Giuliano, and I'm here to share some technical analysis, observations, price charts, friends of price charts, friends of Elliott Wave, and generally any form, fashion, or fare of technical analysis on price charts. If you enjoy looking at them, observing them, trading them, then hopefully this works for you. Maybe this is some educational, some thought-provoking, maybe entertaining. Anyway, so I'm here to share the screen. We'll take a look at some price charts. I'm using getaurox terminal. You can use referral link if you want. It's free to get the full features. You can set up a bunch of charts. Currently BTC trading below the 54,000 level, but anyway, things are looking good overall. So this is Komodo and Friends. We're looking at these crypto price charts. We're going to look at TRAC BTC, and then we're going to look at DERO BTC and USDT price charts. First, let's just take a quick look at the BNB because I had a quick gander over here. Look like looking at these on a more longer term frame, and we seem to be forming this pattern here. Let's see if we can break out of it, not to the downside, more so to the upside. But anyway, that's BNB price chart. Next, we have, yes, the TRAC BTC. So I wanted to watch here. We are currently at about 940 Satoshis. We had watched on a weekly time frame. We had watched this big triangular movement play out to the upside. And now we are on a daily time frame, retesting it, interestingly, quite nicely. And yep, finding some resistance at the top here where it was previously support, top of this little boxy box. So there you are on the TRAC BTC price chart. So it might chop around here in this range for a bit before going to the next level, or it might be ready to make its way, sooner than later. But I do think bias is upside, even on the BTC price chart. Yeah. But then again, we might not, this might be a fake out and we might need to play down into the lower end of this box again, but bias to the upside. Okay, again, none of this financial advice and you don't really know what direction it's going. You make your, you look at the balance of probabilities, you make your play and you go for it. Yeah, that looks good. Come on a weekly level, that looks sweet. That looks sweet, definitely bias to the upside. Okay, speaking of which, let's go check the bias for the DERO price chart. I'm going to say here that the bias is to the downside, at least short term. I don't know how to count this. None of this financial advice. I'm not necessarily any good at this, but what I'm seeing here is the potential either of finishing this whole move, a macro wave of an impulse, or in fact, just finishing this third type of wave, and that plays itself out, shows itself out a bit better on the DERO USDT price chart. These are on KuCoin exchange. Yeah, so what are we seeing here? Basically using extensions and seeing that this move looks like it could be playing itself out. Something along this line, whether we start here or whether we start here. In fact, if we start here, it tends to work out. It tends to work out well. If we start here, it works out well as well. But basically, that's one idea. Okay, now the other idea is something along this line, whether again we start from here or from lower, and we're gonna find out, what that's all about, and then within here, we have this type of move. Okay, does that make sense within there? Okay, so that would be that. This would be some form of running correction possibly here. Anyway, so then this is on a weekly time frame, so it's decently significant. Whether we start here around the 5,500 satoshis or here or here, we could make arguments, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. When the extensions play themselves out as well. So roughly, we're taking the candles, and the beauty of the channeling is like this channels nicely, so that's why this fits nicely as a correction. I don't see why not, although could argue that it is a impulsion, because you could argue that 4 touches, 1, 2, 3, 4. But anyway, that's why I think at the end of it, this probably has topping out, but then there could be another impulse move up, but how much is it going to be is a good question. Especially when we start to take into account the wicks, then this definitely looks like we could be in the end of the 3rd wave, moving into a 4th and into some sort of 5th. BTC doesn't always play like that though. So really what's happening here is an interesting move. Like it's been since February, this thing has marked up, and as we're still at the highest levels really, overall that it's been since this markup from February. So this is a massive move. This is incredible. It's huge. So good on everyone involved, over 2,000%, 2,200%. Incredible. And so we'll even take the timing of that in about 34 weeks. Okay, so yeah, so if we're playing, extension games, we can go top to bottom and we see, okay, fine, we've got this 1618 here, whether we pull it here or here, and I like this one as the end of the move, then we've got this as a kind of a topping out point. It just plays nicely as a topping out point, and so then we get, I think, that original sense of one of these. Okay, I don't know if this, this is our weekly candles and stuff, so who knows. This is the BTC price chart, and this is a long-term time frame. So, and I'm just some amateur guy, here we are looking at these charts. Anyway, that's the idea that I have here. So if we are looking at this move here, that's 1618. If we take from, well, because of this wick low, yeah, we're taking lower than that. So that looks about right for me on the BTC time frame. And then on the daily price chart, you start to see we can fill in some of those gaps again and see, okay, so if we start working off of this play, now in here, we can say, all right, we're starting to chop around here in a way which, we had this impulse here, we chop around. What's happening here? We're starting to narrow down Bollingers. Are we going to keep going higher, or is this time for a move down? And based on the USDT chart, it could be signaling a move down at least, or a sideways. Like this is the BTC price. So either way, yeah, it's looking like there is some here. Let's put it on a daily. We'll put down this resistance in this direction here. Okay, So this is a really, this is pretty significant situation. We'll see where this goes. Yeah. Yep, that's about it. I'd say for the DERO BTC, bias is to the downside at this point. Doesn't mean that it's for a long-term downside. It just means for this next while. Like, let's see here. We put in here roughly 71 days. So yeah, if it could be the beginning here of here. Check yourself until November, end of November, whatever. You know, it might be something like that. But here's the thing. Yeah, because this could just be before a fifth. So we'll see what ends up happening here. I get the sense that the DERO BTC price will stagnate for a little bit. You know, maybe even into the spring or something. I don't know how long this is going to be. And again, don't just go on me on what I say. But let's see. It has room to continue with heights, but yeah, it's just the sense. That's just the overall play. Again, that 1618 extension seems about right, and just means, you know, check your thoughts. Like maybe if you're looking to get in at some point, to maybe look for some good deals. Like let's say take retracements. Let's retrace it and say, okay, so look for, I mean, this would be nearly a 50%, 61.8 retracement of that move. That's a decent amount of a move down. So, but definitely, you know, here we have levels here that you would look at from 25 to 30,000, and then even below that around 20,000. So like 20 to 30,000 would be a strong range, and in between here you go 25 as a halfway. Anyway, but then you're really looking actually at the about the 15,000. Okay, and that's, hey, BTC might be ramping it up pretty high, and then that's where we start also looking at DERO USDT. So it's hovering around the $25 level, but okay, here we go. We got this weekly time frame, and it's really starting to angulate and reach the apex. I mean, it's got to go one way or the other, and we're pushing it with the RSI divergence, and then this sucker here, this is just a power monster, really. Like no divergence there. This broke that potential divergence. I guess that was being tracked, but the RSI not quite. So here we are, looking at this move here. My guess is that we're nearing the end and we're going to come to the downside. Doesn't mean we're going to be going lower than, even lower than, well, we're at 24. This is a log scale, and we're looking at yeah, looking at $10. Let's say, look, when we start doing retracements, I mean, even from here, if we were to retrace, $10 is 61.8 from this low here of $1.78. So I don't know. I don't necessarily say that it has to go there. Maybe it's only going to be a 38.2 retracement around the $16 level. That's totally fine. And maybe it's not going to be a retracement at all. Maybe it's just getting ramped up. Maybe it's just getting ramped up. None of this is your advice. This is just observations. So that's what these observations are showing us currently as I'm framing them. What are we doing here? Yeah, well, we're at the heights, and we're just getting started with those. But if we take it to the daily, definitely playing out with some of this divergence tactics. On the daily, we can start arguing divergence, I guess, from here. No, yeah, you could, if you, if you wanted to. but it hasn't quite played out yet anyway. Whew. Give it a end of October is this time frame we're looking at. So yeah, the price could definitely still go higher. But wow, this kind of looks terminal, especially if this is a third wave and this is a first wave. So okay, so here's the idea. You know, I mean, if this whole thing is a wave from down here all the way up to here, we got to make some significant retracement of the wave at some point, don't we? Maybe not, you know, everything moves in its own way. It doesn't have to go this far down. But, and $5 is about 78.6. So let's say the $10 level, which relates heavily to this and this price action here, and then this and this. If we go closer, this and this is on a daily level. So if we go like this, say that's a significant level zone, okay? And that's the DERO idea. And then from this move here, that would be roughly a 61.8 retracement. So that's fair. That would keep it still in a strong position. If you're retracing less than 61.8 or 61.8 and less, you still have good potential to make a higher move. That would be, what did we say? That was this move? Yeah. And then on a bigger scale, yeah, I guess because the price came from so low, it doesn't even matter, right? Whew, that's one of them. DERO from roughly, you know, sustainably, roughly like 30 cents to $24, you know, 8,800%. And now that's been done within, like we said, about, we're really going there. Now let's take it from here. And we're talking since March of 2020. Wow, beauty, beauty, beauty. 580 bars roughly, 580 days, and 8,000%. Friends of Pirate Chain. Whew, look at that. This is a move that's sustained, and that looks like the rocket ship that everybody wants to enjoy. Yeah, so there you have it. That's the DERO idea. If we're counting them, you know, if we're saying, okay, let's count some wave action and let's do some bit of analysis here, we get, you know, some 1, 2, what is this, a 3? And are we 4ing here? And this is our 5. So that potentially we had some sort of flat pattern here, but this is a strong C. But I guess because this fifth wave has this strength too, like this is a nice move up into a higher territory from 5 to $25. This is a 5x move right here. 6, let's say, to 24. It's a 4x move, whatever you want to call it, right? That's good. So what does that mean? Well, that means we're done this pretty big wave. In which case, I mean, a chart is a chart. So I don't know. What does that mean? It could just base over here at $10 over time. And then at the next time it needs to go up, it'll go higher. Or maybe this is just a first, like this might not be the end of the 5th, or just like the previous chart might be the end of the 4th. Sorry, end of the 3rd. Okay. So we don't know. We don't know what the situation is going to be. Okay. That looks too nice though. But anyway, so if that's the case, you know, and in which case this, yeah, no, this is their start. So okay, so let's give us some action this way, and roughly 1618 is here. That's why this is okay to stop it. Or okay, you're going to call the 3rd wave end here and around a 2618. Fine. Either way, looks like we're coming to an ending point. But I've been saying or thinking that for quite a bit of time. I guess it was intermediate, like we did end, but it's been a choppy. If you've been watching it the whole time and playing it well, good for you. And yeah, if you're watching this video, I hope this is enjoyable for you and giving you something to think about. This is the DERO price chart, and on a daily, yeah. whatever. I mean, do these indicators really matter as much as the price? No, I don't see it. Although when we start looking, let's say price, start looking at candles and stuff and saying, okay, well, we'll see where we come. We're coming back down to this level, $22. I get that sense. We'll see. This might be an interesting time for the DERO price chart. So we'll keep an eye out on it. For if you want that, like the video, comment on the video, say you want more, you know, or at least to just keep an eye on it, whatever you like. And good luck out there. Yeah. Take care of yourselves, and wishing you some love, peace, and happiness. I don't have much else to say on this one. Take care. Goodbye. Until next time.